In this video, I want to quickly show you 4 methods that you can use for cutting trench in ICF foam walls so that you can run things like electrical wire or plumbing or conduit. I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of these and kind of show you each method very quickly of how it looks like when it's in use. The cheapest method you can do is just getting a knife like this and you just cut the channel in. This is also kind of the most labor intensive and the slowest, and it's maybe not as clean looking as well, but these are about 10 bucks, super cheap. You will need to cut, on my particular ICF, there's like the plastic ribs that you have to cut into, and this can't really cut that well, so it might be good to use something like a Sawzall for cutting those. You could also use the Sawzall to cut everything, but again, it's just a little bit more labor intensive. The next cheapest method is to use a modified chainsaw like this, like an electric chainsaw. I got this from Walmart for $50. I just cut a little hole in the bar and put this wheel on here and set it to about 1 inch of depth. But the problem with this is it's pretty dangerous because you have this chain running the whole time, and you have to go straight on like a 90-degree angle. If you curve it all, then your channel isn't going to be as deep. So I actually did not use this one. The method I used the most was this angle grinder that we'll get to in a minute. So I use this one a little bit. It's cheap, it's kind of fast, but it's also pretty dangerous, and I don't know, you just don't have a whole lot of control with it, I don't feel like. But the next one is an angle grinder. So if you already have one of these, this video is not sponsored by DeWalt, by the way, but I happen to have a lot of DeWalt tools. So this is a DeWalt angle grinder. I'll include a link to the product so you can buy some of these if you want online. But I switched out the actual cutting part for this one that has a chainsaw blade on it, or like a chain. I didn't put the chain on, this just comes, I think they're like $10. You buy just the part and put it on there. But this works really well, you get a lot of control, and the depth happens to be about 1 inch, so I just push it right as far as it'll go. And then I can get in, I can get pretty close to corners. All the corners I still have to do with a knife, like to get right into the corner. And then both of these have a little bit of overcut because it's a circle. So if you're cutting like a 90-degree on the wall, you'll have to kind of have a little overcut. Whereas this next method, using a router, you can actually change direction. You can do like a 90 in the wall or a curve or something. And so a router is probably maybe the best way to go if you already have one of these. It's also the most expensive. But the router, you just press it flush against the wall. You can change this router bit to any size. So if you're doing like plumbing or like a larger conduit, like a 1 inch or something, you can get quite large router bits to get in there. You can control the depth. So this is probably the most versatile, best option, but also several $100s for a good router like this. Also, all of them are pretty loud, so when you're using these, you'll want to have ear protection, eye protection, and I wouldn't recommend doing the chainsaw method if you're not familiar, if you don't have experience using chainsaws, because it is pretty dangerous. The safest one would be the router because the whole spinning part is not exposed. So you can just press it flush against the wall. And then I have another video I'll show actually running the wire and using like a hot knife to cut out the boxes. Well, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you found this video informative. I'll leave links for these in the description of the video if you're interested in buying them. Purchasing through that link will help support my channel, so I appreciate that. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and look forward to catching you in the next video.